Old World Home. Welcome back to my channel. I am really excited today to be participating in Christina from the DIY Mommies DIY and Decor Challenge for Fall 2018. This challenge was the perfect opportunity to tackle a project that I have been wanting to do in our kitchen for a really long time, and that was to DIY a backsplash. We have not had one since we renovated our kitchen. We kept our existing cabinetry and just painted it for a whole new fresh look, but we never tackled a backsplash, and we knew that it was an eventually one day we wanted to get to it kind of project. We initially had in mind to do just simple white subway tile that we actually had on hand left over from our bathroom renovation, but because we were working with existing cabinetry and we bought really inexpensive butcher block countertops, we felt like tile was a little bit too permanent, because if we ever wanted to change the cabinets or the counters, the tile might kind of interfere with that. So I wanted to do something really budget friendly and easy to install and easy to remove should we ever need to do it one day. I absolutely love how the backsplash turned out. I have no plans to take it out anytime soon. So let me go ahead and take you into our kitchen, show you our new DIY backsplash, how I did it, and how you could do it too. So to begin this project, I started with some inspiration, or rather some pinspiration. I have been pinning all sorts of beadboard and paneled backsplashes on Pinterest and sort of gathering my inspiration for what I wanted our kitchen to look like. And then I headed to Lowe's, where I found these V-groove panels. They came in a pack for $12, and you could actually reverse the panel, so you could have beadboard on one side or something called V-groove, which is what I chose to do. So to get started, I simply measured the distance between our countertops and the bottom of our cabinets, marked it out on each plank, and cut them to fit. I made sure to take multiple measurements because we all know cabinet heights and countertops, they may not be perfectly level, so if you cut all your boards based off of just one measurement, you may have some gaps. These panels were super easy to work with because they're tongue and groove, so after I had everything cut, they simply clicked together. I didn't have to worry about spacing them properly. They simply went together like a puzzle and were really easy to put on the wall. Honestly, you guys, this is such an entry-level DIY project. It was really easy. If all you need to do is fit the board between your countertops and your cabinets, you just cut that straight line with a chop saw and you install them in place, and it's really easy. The only tricky parts came when I had to cut around the outlets, and then for us, we needed to carry the boards up around our window because it sort of flowed in that direction. I couldn't make a natural stopping point. It just made sense to pull up the boards all the way around the window. So there was a little bit more cutting involved in that. I had to do some vertical cutting, which is a little bit trickier. To cut the holes for the outlets, I simply measured. I really just eyeballed it, to be honest, because you have a little bit of give. The cover plate is going to mask any imperfections, but I just measured where I needed to cut the two horizontal lines, and then simply snapped in between them. The panels are actually pretty thin. They're maybe only about a 1/4 inch thick, so it was really easy to just snap between those two cuts and make a perfectly straight line. After all my panels were cut, it was just a matter of using a nail gun to install them all in place. I just did 2 nails on each board, a couple more on the vertical ones around the window, but it was really easy. I just nailed them in place and then covered all the nail holes with some spackle that I had on hand. You could of course use wood filler as well, but because I was going to be painting it, spackle actually worked perfect. When it came time to paint the paneling, I actually had a little hiccup. I wanted to paint it our wall color that we have in the kitchen, the living room, the dining room. It's the color A New Gray by Sherwin-Williams, and I thought, yes, that's the color I'm gonna do on the paneling. But when I painted it, it somehow took on a really strange bluish, like battleship gray color, and it was not at all what I had in mind. It was much, much too dark and too cool for the space, which was, again, very strange. So I just pulled out another paint that I had on hand, Benjamin Moore's Pale Oak, which is the same color we used in our master bedroom, and that is what I used to paint the paneling. And I love the color. I love it's just a subtle contrast with the cabinets. It's a little bit lighter than our wall color, and it really is beautiful. I feel like the color is not coming across exactly as I wish it would because it is a gloomy day today as I'm filming, but I do really love the color and I think it works really well in the space. To finish off the edge of the paneling, we actually lined it up with the countertop. Even though it was slightly farther out than our cabinet, we liked that visual line better than lining it up there and having it come too short. And on the edges, we used a 1/4 inch square dowel that I found again at Lowe's, and I just cut it in a really simple 45, lined it up so we have a nice crisp line that lines up again with that countertop line and looks really neat and finished. The great thing about working with wood is that if you make any mistakes or you have any uneven cuts, caulking goes a long way. My favorite phrase in DIY is do your best and caulk the rest, because it really is true. It hides a world of sins, especially again if you're going to be painting over it. You will never see those imperfections or imperfect cuts in your wood. So I use paintable white caulking to do all the seaming underneath the cabinets, around my windows, and in the corners. But then where the paneling met the countertop, I didn't want to use white caulking because it was gonna be a little bit too much contrast with the countertops and the wall color. So I actually wound up going with clear silicone caulking, which is the same thing that we used around our kitchen sink, and it has held up really well. So I just ran a really thin bead of that along the edge where the countertops met the paneling and then smoothed it out with my finger. It really took me about 5 minutes to do that final step, and my project was complete. This whole thing took me about 3 to 4 days, I would say, and I pretty much did it all by myself, you guys. I kind of took Dan's input in a couple places, but as far as the execution, I kind of did it all by myself. And if I can do it, honestly, you could do it too. I want to say a big thank you to Christina for organizing this DIY and decor challenge. It is so fun to discover new channels and to see all the creative endeavors that people are getting into. If you are new to my channel, coming over from Christina's, welcome. My name is Hillary. Please click that button there and subscribe if you would like to see more decorating and organizing and simple living ideas here on my channel. Thank you all so much for watching and have a blessed fall season. I'll be talking to you soon. Bye.